Hi, thanks for joining
Mhm.
us of Being Human. And today we're talking about building trust. I'm Brittany Maxwell Tegmeyer, a licensed marriage and family therapist.
And I'm Becky Rowlett. I have my PhD in developmental psychology and I'm a licensed professional counselor.
Fantastic. Okay, Becky. So, what do you think? If we're talking about trust, let's talk about building trust with parents with their children. What do you think?
I think that a lot of times that piece is missing because children and adults are always going to make mistakes. That's
Yeah,
part of being human. So let's say that your child doesn't complete a chore or sneaks out at night. A lot of times as a parent, we're like, okay, you've broken our trust. So then how do you build that trust rather than allowing your child to stay in the shame and feel punished and as though there's no way to earn back that trust?
right. So, yeah, what do you suggest? So, you're saying that there needs to be some sort of transition or step where a parent can lean into an eagerness to trust this child again. And how does a parent go about that, or how does a child go about that?
Good question. It can be checking in at a set time. I mean, most parents have the app so they know where their child is at all times.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, being true, being honest, being proactive in saying where you are. Um, I know in the past we had talked about how some children that are quick to respond and quick to please, the truth isn't always the first answer.
Yeah.
So, like taking a step back and saying, is that your final answer? Or allowing the child to take some time and think through the consequences of what if I tell the truth? What if I tell a lie? What are the effects?
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
interesting. So, really, what you're speaking
Mhm.
to is parents really providing the background or the foundation for the child to come and it feels safe to give any answer, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And as a parent, and as a clinician, what I encourage parents to do is this idea of not trying to catch your kids in a lie or a
Mhm.
discretion, but just being upfront that if you know something's happened, as a parent, I say, hey, I know this already happened. Tell me, why did you make that decision? So I'm just being upfront with, I already have this information. I'm not going to check you to see if you're going to tell me the right thing, but just being more open and saying, help me understand, where were you when this occurred, or where was your head at during this?
That's huge
Hmm.
because everyone needs to be heard. And it is easy as a parent to want to react because out of fear
Yeah.
and the safety of our children. So sometimes when we get the whole picture, we can make a better decision about consequences, or sometimes the child did the best that they could with the choices that they had in front of them.
Right. Right. So it sounds like the idea of building trust really is, setting an environment where more of an understanding of what was at play, who was involved is really important, and also just the pace in which we go about a conversation or a situation with somebody is to slow down and wait for everybody to have an understanding and wait for answers to come and the child to feel safe and free to give those sort
Yes.
of
Yep.
clues.
Gather the information before reacting
Yeah,
and making a judgment.
yeah. And then on the flip side of that, then is we're encouraging our children to come and be open and honest because we will be working to gather the information and before making judgment. And we're going to slow that process down so we can coach them through the situation.
Yes, because they need guidance when it
Sure.
comes to decisions. And this is a perfect opportunity to sit down and say, okay, let's look at the choices. What choices did you have at the time?
Yeah. Yeah. To build on for the next experience, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything else about building trust? No. All right. Well, until next time, thanks for joining us, Being Human and Building Trust.